Good morning. Welcome to fall semester 2013 at Gwinnett Technical College. As she explained, my name is Carlton Calhoun. I'll be one of the instructors in this class. This is Miss Janet Kaplan. She's one of the instructors. Even though she's serving as a tutor in this class, she also teaches her own classes. Before I get into the course information, I just want to go over some school information that may be pertinent to you. Obviously, today is the first day of class. If for any reason you need to add or drop a class, you have until the 21st. The last day to drop with the refund is 3:30 p.m., August 21st. If you do it in person, if you choose to do that online, you have until 11:50 p.m. The final fee pay deadline will be August 23rd, same times. If you choose to do it in person, you have until 3:30. If you choose to do it online, you have until 11:50. By the 26th, if you have not satisfied your financial obligations, you will be dropped for non-payment. The last day of class, where is it? I believe it's the 13th, but in this class, because you don't take midterms or finals, the last date is December 5th. And generally, even though it says the last day is the 5th, which is a Thursday, you have until Friday close of business to take care of any modules, any post-tests that you need to do. So let's just say the 6th. And general information for your other classes. The last date, final exams included, will be the 14th. Emergency procedures. If you hear a fire alarm, the way we go, we exit out of this door, down the hall to the end, make a left. That's where the exit is. If the fire is that way, we just go the other way. So just go where the fire is not. All right. Redesign mathematics. There are some differences between what you may be used to as far as classroom instruction in this class. We're going to go over those differences, the advantages. We're going to go over your required course materials, how the course works, testing, policies, responsibilities, email, all of that good stuff. So traditionally, maybe how you went through high school, if you've had some college classes, normally you have an instructor at the front of the class, either lecturing, explaining, whatever the case may be. This class is not like that. Most, if not all of your instruction will take place on the computers in front of you or at home. The similarities, whether you were taking a face-to-face class or this class, you are responsible for approximately 2 class periods per week. So 160 minutes, that breaks down, if you're in a face-to-face, 2 80-minute classroom sessions. Does that make sense? In a face-to-face class, if you don't understand the topic, the instructor is going to progress anyway, because they have a certain amount of material to cover in a certain amount of time. What I like about this particular format, if you do not grasp a topic, even though we have, for lack of a better term, deadlines, you can stay on that topic as long as it takes for you to understand it. So, for example, in a face-to-face class, we have 15 weeks to cover, let's say, 10 units. If you're stuck on Unit 2, the class is going to progress because we have to get everything that we can in that semester. If you're stuck on Unit 2 in this format, you can spend 1, 2, 3 weeks on it if you need to. On the flip side, if it only takes you 1 day to get through a unit in this format, you can keep going. So you could potentially, and we've had it happen, let's say you're starting in 97. You could potentially complete 98 and 99 in one semester. In a face-to-face class, you could be the most advanced person in the world. You can only complete that course in that semester. That makes sense? So if you choose to, and if you're motivated enough, and you want to get through 2 classes, you have the freedom and flexibility to do that. If you need extra time, you have the flexibility to get that extra assistance if you need it. So that's just some of the differences. But again, same amount of time. Even though you are scheduled for this particular time, you do not have to come this particular time every day. Let's say you have a conference at school with a child, a job interview, whatever the case may be. If you want to come on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, you can. Yes, sir. No, you do not have to come at this time. As you progress through the semester, as you start to take on different course loads with your other classes, you may find that this is not convenient. You may want to get some study group time or meet a professor at office hours at a particular time. You'll find that your schedule will determine when is the best time for you to come to class. That's what I like about this as well. Let's say if I was in this class, for example, and I knew I could stay for 2 periods in 1 day, I'd knock it out in 1 day, and I wouldn't be back. That's just me. I tell students, if you really want to maximize the time and the format of this class, do as much as you can at home. Show up to school to take your required tests. Generally, your tests will give you the time that you need to satisfy the attendance requirements. At the end of the day, take advantage of the flexibility that the class offers. For some, that's a good thing. For some, they need the traditional discipline of having to come at a particular time. So just take advantage of it. Same thing, learning support. The math classes generally require 3 different courses, 97, 98, 99. As I mentioned, in a face-to-face class, that will be 3 different semesters. In this class, potentially, you could do it all in 1 semester. Some other differences. Your course delivery in this class is done via video. So as you log in and go through the modules, you will have video instruction for each topic. Sometimes in the past, the videos didn't always work as planned, so you will have to restart them. We're working on that to make it better, more user-friendly. But another advantage of this class, if you're watching the videos, you don't understand the topic, rewind. Pause, take notes, rewind again. Whatever you need to do to get the information, get it. You pay for it, get as much as you can out of it. Also, we'll be here to assist you, so you're not in this by yourself. You have a question that you don't understand on the video, raise your hand or put your color swatch on your computer. We'll come around and help you. Also, there will be times I'll be floating, looking to see where everybody is. If I see that there are a number of students stuck on a particular topic, I might grab all of you, bring you to a corner, and lecture on it. We'll do whatever we can to make sure that you get the assistance that you need. But if you need a helping hand, look at the end of your own wrist first. Y'all get that? Do what you can as much as you can first. then ask for assistance. Because if you're not willing to help yourself, all the help we give you doesn't matter. That make sense? Okay. So your required course materials. A change that has been implemented this semester, your course materials are included in your tuition. In the past, you had to pay for that separately. So for instance, the My Math Lab Plus course, you used to have to purchase access for that separately. So we've had students who, for 3-4 weeks, never had access to the materials. Now that's included. So once you paid for the course, you paid for your book, which I'll give you times when you can pick those up, and you pay for access to the courseware. You also need loose leaf notebooks and paper. That's for you to take notes. Yes? Yes, you're good. You're good. Headphones. Because your instruction is delivered via video, you will not be able to hear it without headphones. No, you cannot turn the computer up and hear it. If you don't have headphones, you cannot hear the videos. Please bring those every day. This is the suggested calculator. It's a Casio FX 115 ES Plus, very powerful calculator. If you have your own, it will suffice. Besides, for modules 1 and 2 in this course, you can't use a calculator anyway. When you get to module 3, there's a calculator built into the program.
In module 2, the calculator is built.
It's module 2?
Right. At 1 and 3, they can't use the calculator.
So I stand corrected. 1 and 3, you can't use the calculator. Module 2 is built in. Beyond 3, there's a calculator built into the modules, and you can use your own. No phones are allowed to be used as a calculator. And I'll touch on the phone stuff in a little bit. So, this is the basic framework of the course. For every module, there is a pre-test, a practice test, and a post-test. Prior to you starting any module, you can take the pre-test. This is the good thing about this course. This is what I like about it. If you get an 80 or above on the pre-test, you have satisfied all requirements for that module. You can proceed to the next one. So let me say that again. If you score an 80 or above on the pre-test, you have satisfied all the requirements of that module. You can proceed to the next one for the pre-test. So in English, you score 80, skip the module. If you don't score 80, whatever you score, the system populates your homework based on those items that you answered correctly. Does that make sense? So let's say you score 40 on a pretest, which is not a bad thing. You're not expected to pass a pretest. It's just to gauge where you are, your knowledge base for that particular topic. If you score 40, the system will populate your homework based on your score. So some of your homework will already be complete. If you choose to, you can bypass the pretest altogether. So one of the instructions in here can input a 0 for your pretest. That just means you have to do all of the homework. Once you get into the homework, you have to score at least an 85% on every topic to unlock the practice test. Before you can take the post-test, which gets you beyond the module, you have to score an 85. Is it 80 or 85 on the practice test? Yeah, 80 on the practice test. Once you score 80 on the practice test, the post-test is unlocked. You can take the post-test.
Yeah, just want to interrupt for another minute. We should have been giving these out to you in the very beginning as you were coming in. Many of the things, everything that it's telling you about is in these handouts. All these little, what you have to score and all the particulars, it's all in here. So it's on its way to you.
So if you don't get everything that I'm saying, which you wouldn't anyway, that's just human nature. It's all documented for you in these packets. And most of what I'm saying, as the course progresses, you'll get it anyway. Had a question? Oh, okay. Practice test, post-test. I think we'll hint on the post-test more. So this is just a flow chart that reiterates what I said. Pre-test, like I said, it's optional. Personally, I would suggest taking the pre-test. You have nothing to lose. Take the pre-test. Score 80. You have satisfied our requirements. You go to the next module. If you do not score 80, you enter the coursework, where you must score a minimum of 85% on all homework to complete it. Satisfy that requirement, you can go to the practice test. Practice test, you must score 80 or above to unlock the post-test. Once you take the post-test, the required score for passing is 75%. Score 75 on the post-test, you can proceed to the next module. If you do not pass the post-test, you have to go back and make sure that your homework is now 100%. And you must take the practice test again and score at least a 90. So first round practice test, 80%. If you have to take the practice test again, that requirement goes up to 90%. I like to get students to score 90% or above on the first one so you don't have to come back and do it again. That's just me. Yeah, it's like washing dishes. If you're going to wash them, might as well wash them right so you don't have to come back. So, don't worry about this. Again, as you do it, it'll start to make sense, so don't wreck your brain trying to figure out that flow chart. Very important. All tests, well, not all, pre-tests and post-tests occur in a proctored environment. You will not take pre-tests and post-tests in this room. They are taken in 409, which is right behind you. So if you exit out this room, make a left, go up to the next hall, make a left. I believe it's the second door on the left. Very important. The only way to take a pre or post test is to have your student ID. Not your driver's license, not your military ID. Student ID 409 is right behind us. So I'm letting you know now, do not get upset at us or the proctors if you forget your student ID. You will not be allowed to test. You can't swap your kid for the test. No keys, none of that. There are liabilities that exist, and we just want to make sure that we don't get caught up in them. So everybody understand that. By school policy, you're supposed to have your student ID on your person at all times anyway. So make sure you take care of that. If you lose your student ID, you can get one replaced for $6 at the bookstore. But you do need those IDs. We went over the pre-test, how it shortens your homework. 80% allows you to skip a module. Grade only counts if 80% or higher is scored. It is optional. There are students who would rather just start the coursework. We just bypass their pre-test for them. So you do have that option. And pre-test cannot be taken after beginning homework. So you can't start your homework to study for a pre-test. I have students ask me that. Can I go on my homework and study for the pre-test? No, you can't. That's what it's before. Plus, that's a waste of time. So the lectures, as I mentioned, you receive your instruction 98% by video. You can do all of your coursework at home. Again, that's why I like this course. It's the freedom and the flexibility. There are students who literally do all of their homework at home, show up class time to take their test. And they're successful like that. Some students need to be here. Some students don't have access at home. That's understandable too. So you can use any lab here for coursework, public library. So there's never an excuse. Your internet out at home, that's not an excuse. Every library, McDonald's, free Wi-Fi if you have a computer, never an excuse. Another thing I like, let's say you do the homework and you score 100, but you don't quite get it still. You can go back and do additional problems within your homework. You can always do similar exercises. Now, you don't want to take too much time doing that. But let's say you do a problem with assistance, because you can get assistance in the homework, and you still don't quite get it. Do another one. You know, in a traditional class, we can't sit and spend time like that because we have to service everybody. Everybody has a different learning style. So we can't always address a particular student with the help they need. In this course, again, you can always get extra help. You can always get reinforcement. You can do problems over and over. So it's just another advantage. I mentioned this. There are times where we just need to lecture. Videos may not do it. So we can either take you to the side. Sometimes we may use the board. There may be times during the day where one of the classrooms across the hall is vacant. If needed, we'll take a group of students over there and do a sage on the stage type of instruction. We'll do whatever we can to help you succeed. So don't get discouraged. Another thing, don't complain if you don't like it and say, why aren't we lecturing? That's not the format of the class. You have students, yeah, I should be lecturing. No, we shouldn't. You didn't sign up for a lecture. You signed up for this class. So concentrate that energy into production. Practice tests. Unlike the pre and post test, you can take practice tests anywhere. It's like homework. You can take it here. You can take it at home. I think this will be more reinforced this semester. Me personally, I do not help with practice tests the first time. That's why it's called a practice test. It's preparing you for the post test where you get no assistance. If none, period. So your first go-round practice test, I will not help you. And I'll ask you, is this your first time taking it? If you tell me yes, I'm just going to walk away. So don't think I'm being rude. It's preparing you for the post test. Second go-round, I'll offer assistance. That's just me. I'll offer assistance on the practice test to make sure you understand concepts. Does that make sense? So don't get an attitude when you ask for help on the practice test and I say no. It wouldn't matter to me anyway. So that's what all of this is. Student must attempt the practice test one time with no help from the instructor. So I just summarized this whole thing in one sentence. If you've done what you're supposed to do on the coursework, generally you will do fine on the practice test. And if you understand and do well on the practice test, you should pass the post test because they're almost identical. We mentioned this, 75% or higher shows mastery on the material. There are 4 built-in attempts. If for any reason you have not passed it in 4 attempts, we simply delete previous attempts. You can take it again. If, and most of the instructors do this, if you score, let's say, a 72, 73 on a post test, I know me personally, I'll go in and look at your post test and see where I can find some points. There are occasions where the answer is 75.6. A student will put 75,6. They'll hit a comma instead of a period. the system is not going to identify that you made a mistake by a slip of the hand. We can go in and look at things like that. So again, we're always trying to find ways to help you. Work with us. Don't fight us. That's a losing battle. Everybody good? Any questions so far? Okay. If you score 50 on the post test, no, we're not going to look in and see if we can find points. I'll go in and see where you made mistakes and tell you that, but that 50 means take it again. We talked about attendance. More specifically, whenever you come into a classroom, you want to sign in. It'll be set up. Sign in, it'll ask you for your student ID. You click on your class, hit enter. That's it. That's how we track your time. When you step out, sign out. Step in, sign in, step out, sign out. Same for the proctoring room. That counts your time as well. When you go into the proctoring room, make sure you sign in. We have students in the past who try to outsmart the system. They'll sign in, leave and not sign out, and try to get all the time. After a certain amount of time, the computer kicks you out and you get nothing. So it's like a job. You want to get paid, clock in. When you leave, clock out. Here, your pay is your progress. This is some changes as well. This is 97, yes. Yeah. Step out, sign out. Math 97, modules 1 through 6. 98, mods 7 through 11. And 99 generally starts at module 9. And he says, see where it says, continuing redesign, Math 99 students will complete the course. In the past, I don't even want to go over the past. Complete modules up to module 6. Complete module 6, you've completed 97. Remember what I said at the beginning? Let's say you complete module 6 in November. Keep going. Go as far as you can go. Time. The quicker you complete the class, the more money you save. That's plain and simple. Yes, ma'am. If I understand that, if you're in a diploma program, after you complete module 6, you are finished with these particular courses. I believe you go on to 10, 12. A different course altogether. If you're in the degree program, you'll complete all of the 90 series classes and go into a college algebra or equivalent. Yes? Yes. And then the next semester you go into another course. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Kaplan. Continuing students will start with the pretest of the last module not passed. That does not apply to you. It may. If you were in 97 last semester and for whatever reason did not complete it, you will pick up where you left off. That's another good thing. Traditionally, if you fail a course, you start the entire course over. In the redesign format, if you, let's say you make it through module 3, and that's as far as you get this semester. When you pick up, you start where you left off. You don't have to do everything over again. So, things happen, life happens to everybody. So, you can pick up where you left off. That's another benefit of this format.
Anybody in that circumstance, we know where you left off. We have a list of what modules you should be starting with. The vast majority of people in here usually will start at module 1.
Very important. A lot of times students want to know their grades. In this particular format, If you are satisfying completing the modules as you need to, you are okay. The numerical grade is of no concern. So if you ask me your grade, I'll ask you what module you're on. I'll tell you if you're doing okay. That makes sense? So how do you know you passed the class? You made it through module 6. If you did not make it through module 6, you did not pass the class. It's that simple. Not yet. We're going to try it. Students who do not pass, you receive an F. So it's either A or F. Pass or fail. We went over the modules, so we went over the pacing. I don't want to go into too much detail in that. Remember this. Your objective is to complete how many modules? 6. That's what you focus on. Don't focus on the grade. Don't focus on where your neighbor is. Any of that. Complete 6 modules by the last day of class. You are okay. What to do if a student is not on pace? I never suggest withdrawing. That's just me. If a student withdraws, all of your progress is lost and you will have to repeat. So if you withdraw, it's like a traditional class. You have to start all over. I'm not a financial aid advisor, so you will have to consult with your advisors regarding your financial aid. As it says, your financial aid may be impacted. Again, as instructors, we're not financial aid specialists, so don't get mad at us if we can't answer your financial aid questions. Go to financial aid. They can give you 100% of the correct information. If a student continues with the course, any modules that are passed are kept, and you will not have to repeat them. Financial aid for the current semester will not be impacted. When in doubt, any questions regarding financial aid, consult financial aid. What to do if a student is behind pace? Speed up. Work more at home and outside of class and finish on time. That's what I said. Do what you can outside of class. If you, instead of watching True Blood, do some homework. Or do some homework while you watch True Blood. Bottom line is take advantage of every opportunity to excel, to progress, if that makes sense. Suggested due dates. Think about it like this. This is a marathon. Any of you ever watched a marathon? Nobody really cares who finishes first. We just look to see who finished. Because if you finish, you won. What's your finish? What module? 6. It doesn't matter if you get to module 6 3 weeks after your friend. All we want you to do is cross the line. Everybody got it? Okay. If a student fails, we sign up for the same course next semester, just like you would in a traditional class. But again, you pick up where you left off. Proctoring. We mentioned it happens in room 409. The times sometimes do change, but for now, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is what I like about this class again. In a traditional class, you miss a test, that could be the difference between passing or failing. With this type of format, you literally have all day to take tests. So again, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday, 8 to 4. Nobody wants to be here all day on a Friday. Saturday, 9 to 4. Nobody wants to be here all day on a Saturday. But Saturday is an option. So, you know, this is good. You may be working on a final project or midterm project in another class. You don't have the time that you normally have. Take care of that project. Come in on the weekend. Take care of a post-test if needed. There is a 2-hour time limit on tests. It's timed by the system. The system will kick you out after 2 hours. So don't get upset at the proctor. It's all computer-based. 2 hours is plenty of time, though, if you've done what you need to do on the homework and the practice test. Scratch paper is provided. So when you go to take one of the proctored exams, all you need is your pencil, and of course, ladies, you'll have your purses. But those purses go to the side or to the front of the room. They cannot come to you to the station. And the proctor room is pretty secure. So all you need is your pencil and your calculator. You're looking at me like, if somebody steals your purse, that means you watched them walk in and steal it. So that's your fault. Because the room is smaller than this. Your scratch paper looks like this. It's set up like this for a couple of reasons. Number one, to help you stay organized. In mathematics, organization is very important. Sometimes when I'm helping students, I can see why they don't understand, because they start a problem at the top left and they end at the bottom right. And it's all over the place. This is to help you stay organized, and it's to help us help you find out exactly where your challenges are, if that makes sense. Number your problems. So if you have a challenge with number 6, we know where to go on your paper because we see it's numbered 6. Scratch paper stays inside of the room. You cannot take it with you. Fill in every other seat starting with the front row. In the proctoring room, the only thing that should be on your screen is the actual exam. When you're in class, you are allowed to listen to internet radio, which I don't understand how you can study and listen. That's just me. But you're allowed to listen to the radio on the computer, not the MP3 on your cell phone, not an iPod or whatever you use. You can listen to the radio on the computer. I know me personally, I'm going to monitor that more closely. Cell phones are a distraction. They should not be out during class. There are no more emergencies in 2013 than there were in 1813. So you can put your phone up. I do understand that some of you have children, or some of you are expecting calls from a job, or whatever the case may be. I am asking you kindly, put your phone on vibrate and on your person, not on the desk. A vibrating phone on the desk is worse than a ringtone. So all I'm asking you essentially is to respect other people in the classroom. Does that make sense? There should not be a confrontation when an instructor or a tutor asks you to put your cell phone away, because it shouldn't be out anyway. So I'm saving you the heartache. Anybody have a problem with that? Okay. No sound is an acknowledgement, so that's what I'll take it as. We just mentioned the cell phones. No headphones are allowed in the proctoring room. In classroom, you need them anyway. In the proctoring room, it's strictly you and the test. Mano y mano. You against the machine. Anybody have any questions about the proctoring environment or the test? Remember again, I said it, you cannot take a test without a student ID. And please make sure you get your student IDs when you leave, because we always have stacks of IDs from people who leave. That's $6. Went over this. Leave bags, purses at the front of the room or against the wall. Make sure you sign in when you step into the proctoring room. There will be a station just like this. You'll go to the proctor, get your scratch paper. You buy scratch paper with your ID. Any of you ever go to Aldi's to shop? You know, to get a cart at Aldi's, you got to pay a quarter. But you get your quarter back when you return the cart. So, return your scratch paper, you get your ID back. Be seated at the next available computer. Yeah, we went over that. If you have a question, raise your hand, and the proctor can assist you most of the times from his desk or her desk, whoever's proctoring. When you leave, make sure you sign out. Classroom policies, participation grade, 160 minutes per week. That's roughly 5% of your grade. Just make sure you're here 160 minutes. Make sure you sign in and out. That's how we track your attendance. Remember I mentioned how you don't have to come to this particular class to satisfy your time requirements? Students registered for the time slot have priority. I like to think of it as flying standby. If you're flying standby, those people who have tickets for that flight get priority. If there are any open seats, standby can get on the plane. That's how it is here. We've never had an issue. Generally, the room is never filled. It's filled the first day and the last week. But during the semester, it's never like this. So more than likely, you can enter a class at any time. Technically, if you go to a class where it's not your time, after the first 10 minutes, you have free reign. But like I said, it's never full. Like my classes, if you come at 2 o'clock when I'm here, if it's a seat, sit down. You don't even have to ask, just come sit down. Suggested students should be working at home 10 to 18 hours a week. That's a long time. I like to say, at least an hour a day. So, you know your time freedom more than I do. So whenever you can, take advantage of the time. Headphones must be brought to class every day. That's how you hear the lessons. We mentioned that. When working problems, music can be listened to on the computer. Again, not cell phones or MP3s. So if you're listening to your cell phone and one of the instructors or tutors asks you to put it up, there should not be a confrontation, because we're giving you the expectations up front. My dad used to say, let you know up front so you don't stick out behind. We mentioned the cell phones. You all are adults. It's just common courtesy. Cell phones are a distraction when they ring. So please, as you walk in or before you walk in, just make sure they're off. And when I say off, not powered off, silent or on vibrate. Ladies, don't put your phone on vibrate in your purse next to your keys. So, just think courtesy. Student responsibilities. You have a question? Yes. Post and pre-tests are always proctored. General responsibilities. The most important item on here is ask for help. If you don't understand, please ask. Please ask. But work outside of class, bring headphones every day, make sure cell phones are silent, put away. No requirements to pass. What's the requirements to pass? Pass 6 by the last day of class. 4th or 5th. Yeah. First week of December. Give yourself an early holiday gift. Pass. Stay on or ahead of pace. That is different for each student. We have a suggested pace in the booklet that you have. You will know what's good for you as the course progresses. Ask questions when things are unclear. Always, not always, frequently, make sure you check your GTC email. That's how we correspond. You don't have a syllabus. If you need my assistance, write my email down. I'm going to give it to you. C. Calhoun, C-C-A-L-H-O-U-N @gwinnettech.edu. C-C-A-L-H-O-U-N @gwinnettech.edu. Gwinnett Tech, make sure you have 3 T's in there. Also, make sure you send from a sanctioned school email. You know, you send from hotgirl0748 @yahoo.com, it may not make it. I'm just saying. Yeah, and when you send the email, it takes a while for us to get to know you because of the format. Make sure you include your name and the course you're in. That'll help us assist you faster. If you send the email, check your email. Ms. Calhoun, did you get my email? Yeah, I replied. That means you weren't checking yours. So make sure you check your email if you send one. I do my best to respond as quickly as I can. A lot of times you may see me on the phone. I'm not texting. I'm responding to emails because I don't get good service here, but the email comes through. You do need notebooks. You do need to take notes, even though you're using video lectures. That helps us help you. We're about to fast forward to allowing you all to actually get into the course. Also, if you would like to pick up your books for 1 week, August 19th through the 23rd, they are distributing books in room 401 on Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 401 is... Are they free? No. But you've already paid for them. Good question.
You have paid for them already in your
8 a.m. to 6. Yeah.
Brand new this semester.
Everything you need, basically, you already paid for, whether you wanted to or not.
What are the hours again?
Monday and Tuesday, room 401, which is over there, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wednesday, room 815, 12:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, room 815, 12:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, room 401, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Textbooks.
Anybody have any questions?
I just would like to clarify this also.